Welcome back to a tutorial explaining the basics of how to use iMovie on the iPad. This was created February 2013. So let's continue where we left off with the previous 11-minute video. And let's talk about the same video that we were just working on. So I'm going to open up the school movie that I had just created. And this allows me to go and let's go talk about some of the other things that you can do with this. Now you'll notice the squiggly line in the middle there, I'm turning it on, or actually I turned it off, and then I'm turning it back on. Notice what it did to the recording down at the bottom. It shows the level of the sound that's there. So I can go ahead and click on that. Let's talk about a couple other things that might be helpful for you. If you look in the upper right hand corner, there's a wheel, a little cog, and I'm going to click on that cog. Let's say you wanted to add a theme to it, and there are a variety of themes that have prepackaged music. I'm going to go ahead and turn on that theme music by sliding that over. And at the same time, I'm going to turn on fade in from black and also fade out to black. And I'll show you what that does in just a minute. Now this is set to the modern sound, and let's see what that sounds like. Well, notice that the entire thing is now encased with this modern green box. So I'm going to play it.
The purpose of schools today is to
Adds a nice little flair.
invite students to
Notice any music that has no vocals is actually pretty good for this type of a movie so that it doesn't conflict with the narration that's so important to a digital story. I can go back in and change that. One of the jobs you can do as a user is to play around with these different ones. Here's bright here. I'm clicking on bright, and I'm going to click on playful down there. Let's see what playful sounds like. Notice it immediately changes it. I'm going to go ahead back and play.
The purpose of schools today is to make sure that we invite students.
Yeah, that's kind of fun. So you get to play around with what works best for your story that you're telling and what's most appropriate. Let's talk about a couple other things. First off, when we showed how to add a short video narration over another one in the previous movie, well, let's talk about how we can make that again. I'm going to put in the beginning of the movie. Welcome to the History of Education as told by Rob. And I click stop there. And notice that I have a new recording that's right below the first recording that's there. Let's listen to it. First, I'm going to accept this and play.
Take part. Welcome to the History of Education as told by Rob.
No, that's no good. What I want to do now is I want to move the recording forward and move the new one back so that it shows up at the beginning. Now I do this by clicking and holding down. Notice that when I click and hold down, I can move this over. And now I'm going to click and hold down on the other one, and I'm going to put it in front. Now I'm going to go ahead and play that, put it right at the playhead. And
Welcome to the History of Education as told by Rob. The purpose of schools today is to make sure that we invite students to...
Alright, so let's see what else we could do here. Maybe I want to actually put a different picture in there. I'm going to go back to my philosophy here, and let's go ahead and take this picture. And you know, I just dropped that picture into the wrong place. Well, I want to move it in front of the bus. We're going to use the same technique as with the recording. I'm going to click and hold, move it over, and drop. Now notice that I want my recordings back to the beginning also, so that they show up when that hall is showing up there. And I'm going to click, pull that over, I'm going to click, pull that over, and that way my alignment isn't too messed up. Can't quite get it, but let's see how that goes.
Welcome to the History of Education as told by Rob. The purpose of schools today is to make sure that we invite students to take part in an opportunity.
Okay, so now I stop it there. What I might do here is then extend this just a little bit so that it lines up again with the narration just right. And that's where you can be very meticulous about it and spend a lot of time really trying to get that just right. And I think when you do that, it really does pay off. It really turns out great. Feel free to take music from any of the things that are on your iPad already. You may have a playlist on there that allows you to go in and grab stuff. So if you've got music that you listen to on your iPad, feel free to add that. Otherwise, you can use some of the sound effects that come with it, although sometimes it takes away. Yeah, see? I would take this and maybe put it right at the end there. And
It's an important role and needs to be implemented properly.
okay, so you can play around with the sounds that are there and see how all that works. Well, I hope this has helped you really get us started with this. Remember, when you click on that upper star on the piece of paper, then you can get in here and see how to post into a wide variety of different places. Okay, I hope this is helpful.